Porteous nudging away out towards the far side for another throw into Cruz Azul. As you'd expect, they've started quickly. LAFC cautious already. It's Piovi. Inside again. There's Marquez. Into the penalty area and an early chance for Fernandez, who was running away from goal and had to try and stretch his neck to get that one on target. It's one that's held on to. And the goalkeeper Hugo Lloris. Well, come on, the manager knows this ground very well, even if some of the supporters have travelled a little bit further than they expected to do so for this game. He's got success to these parts before, come on. Dos Santos, the Canadian. He's already settled nicely with Los Angeles. He was a former Vancouver manager as well, of course. And the referee immediately stepping in to make his mark. Just wants a little quiet word does Ivan Martínez Barton Cisneros. Here's Campos. Dita. Alavecino. There's Marquez. In the centre of the park now. Running onto it, Piovi. Switch back out to the right-hand side for Campos. Spots the little run of the byline towards the near post. Fernandez was close to it. AFC having to do some defending early on, as they did against Cruz Azul in the opening leg. Back at BMO Field. And the goal will set them up. It was a clever ball to find Lila Palavecino. The intended target was Fernandez. Rodriguez was there as well. Halfway with Piovi. To the left-hand side to Rotondi. Rodriguez shifted across to Marquez. And the ball into the penalty area, aimed at Fernandez, who got his head on it, but it's straight up in the air. Tafari nods it clear, and now maybe a chance for LAFC to set up an attack for the first time. Boanga, David Martinez, here he comes again, streaking forward. Martinez tried to feed it to Son, and that was just about cut out by Dita. Looks like it'll be a throw-in. Sure why, he didn't take it on himself, Martinez. Scored two incredible goals, picking the ball up and driving in the first leg. Tried to be unselfish this time to set one up for Heung-min Son. It was almost a tie done in the opening 2 minutes. By Boanga, flicked away from the edge of the box by Marquez. Valencia is the man doing the defending on halfway. Now Lloris will send one forward again down that left-hand side. Too much on the pass towards Timmy Tillman. It bounces away beyond Campos for Cruz Azul throw-in. Here's Dita, who's going to take over. Is pretty much what we expect from the game. It was a period of around 6 minutes of Cruz Azul pressure before one ball forward almost unlocked things for LAFC. Here they come again, Cruz Azul. It's a strong challenge from the Scot Ryan Porteous, who enjoyed that. And Rodriguez, a little brace. Fortis as he gets back to his feet. Probably just relishing the physical battle there. Here's Dieter. Campos goes down the outside, appeals for a handball. It did strike Segura. He's outside the penalty area anyway. There's VAR in operation tonight. I expect Cruz Azul to appeal for anything and everything that could potentially be seen. There's a chance to get into the game. Segura picks it out on that left-hand side again. Lira, the captain, from a long way out. That's over the crossbar. It was off target from the captain. Hugo Lloris was always comfortable. And wherever you are joining us from, there is Los Angeles itself, Mexico, Puebla potentially. Or even in the early hours in the morning in Europe. We do appreciate you being with us tonight. And across comes the referee. He's already got a yellow card out. And this was for Nicolas Larcamon, the Cruz Azul referee, the Cruz Azul manager, just for a little bit too vociferous with his criticism. Pointing out, he did strike the arm of Segura, but it was quite tight to his body. You can understand why the referee decided not to give that. Wouldn't have been a penalty anyway, as we already mentioned. Well, that's a robust challenge on the far side. It's Delgado who's down. Carlos Rodriguez just went to try and reach in between the legs, came from quite a high position, but just soft contact with the back of Marco Delgado's knee. It's a stern word from the referee, nothing more required at this juncture. Chested forward by Porteous. Here is Tillman. Pace on the pass towards David Martinez. Throw in for LAFC. Took a flick off a Cruz Azul player on the way through. Kept in by Timmy Tillman. No, not able to prevent the goal kick. It's a chance for Eric Lira, the 25-year-old Cruz Azul captain, to try and gee up the crowd in here tonight. As we mentioned, there are a couple of LAFC shirts scattered around the blue of the Cruz Azul support in this evening. By Safari. Just with a little shove, Latombi. He's the latest player to get a bit of a talking to with the referee. They've moved the ball quickly, Cruz Azul, from the free kick. It's nice work from Boanga, and he's just had his ankles clipped, and that's going to be a booking. The yellow card. Trying to... Let's have a little look here. Boanga got away. He's pulled back by Palavecino. Boanga reacted angrily, and then Fernandez got himself involved as well. Bookings for both. They're really up for this, Cruz Azul. You can see they've been fired up from the word go. That's another foul and another card. And another one. 4 yellow cards already. Rotondi added to the book. And Carlos Rodriguez too. There was a little shove from Rotondi on David Martinez as he tried to get away down the right-hand side. Carlos Rodriguez also added to the referee's notebook. He's been quick to pull the yellow card out. To include the manager, that's now 5 yellow cards for the Cruz Azul contingent. Son with the cross towards the back post. And Ryan Porteous was climbing as he tried to get on the end of that. And he's taken the warning that he's seen so far from the referee's tendency to show the yellow card, to keep his mouth shut as he sprints back into position. There's Rodriguez. Once again, LAFC tried to break away. POV. There's no little tug on David Martinez, not this time, says the referee. Palavecino looking for Fernandez. Porteous first to it. Didn't run out of play. Rodriguez keeps it moving. With Campos. Fernandez! Oh, what a save by Hugo Lloris. Well, it's a similar story to the first leg last week. Fernandez had a great chance early on. Hugo Lloris got down low to his left to save that one, and he's done the same tonight. Just got in front of Chonier. In swinging corner. That's a penalty. Fernandez held his ground. And Palencia went diving over the top of him. And it's for climbing, according to the referee. It's exactly what they were looking for, Cruz Azul. Well, he's made himself the central figure of this game already. Has Ivan Cisneros. Let's have a look at the replay here. Sergio Palencia, who's been penalised for holding. I don't think this is a penalty, to be honest, and the referee's going to be called across to the pitch side monitor. And we'll have a look at it. It seems to me like Gabriel Fernandez has made a real meal of this. He's holding on to his opposite number as well. Well, he's had some advice from the VAR. The referee's made his mind up. On he comes again. And he's staying with his penalty decision. Marc Dos Santos can just shake his head. It's very soft. Very, very soft indeed. It's not a penalty I would give, but it's a gift for Cruz Azul. Gabriel Fernandez versus Hugo Lloris, looking for his first goal since the end of March against Mazatlan, and he makes no mistake. Sends Lloris the wrong way. Tucked into the bottom corner. And suddenly the tie is alive and well. They are on the board, Cruz Azul. Oh, this time on Palencia, in front of the fourth official. Portiers towards the edge of the penalty area. It's Delgado that'll run it out of play on the far side. Trying to be taken by Campos. Looked away by Palavecino. There's Palencia. Saves the throw now, Palavecino. Marquez, Palavecino moving the ball quickly here, Cruz Azul. Montaño, and that is a foul. The Cruz Azul players want a yellow card for Ryan Porteous, and he's going to get one. At this rate, every player's going to be ended up in the referee's notebook, and Ryan Porteous with just a wry smile, as if to say, it's the first thing I've done wrong. Just held out an arm. Into it, Palavecino. Has to be careful as well. His teammate, he was waving an imaginary yellow card. Lots of other referees take a dim view of that, and there would have been another yellow card for a Cruz Azul player. This is the problem now we've got with the referees. He's decided to make himself the centre of attention. Well, the way it came about, there may be some controversy around it, Cruz Azul, but it's exactly what they wanted. A goal in the opening 20 minutes. We spoke about keeping it tight, keeping it composed and calm in the opening 15 or 20 for LAFC. It's a long night, especially at this kind of altitude, when you're not accustomed to it, as that's moved along nicely. Can Palavecino find a way past Segura? No, he can't. It'll be a goal kick. Evening, as you expect, touch over 20 degrees Celsius in Puebla tonight. Danny Boanga was booked, which flew under the radar. So now at 7 yellow cards, including the booking for Nicolas Lacamont, the Cruz Azul manager. Only 20 minutes gone. And Boanga. Back to Segura. FC with a throw-in, Segura will take. 2 balls on the pitch temporarily. Segura forward. Tillman Trying to squeeze it downfield. He's against Segura, breaking things up on the left-hand side. Palavecino trying to escape. Segura sticking with him. Palavecino goes down. And a handball called on the Cruz Azul number 8. As he went to ground, held the ball, expecting the free kick to go his way. And Hugo Lloris will wander across to take the set piece. He's asked to hurry up a little bit by Ivan Asiles Barton Cisneros, the referee. Lloris. It's a very long ball, all the way to the edge of the penalty area. And carries a little bit further in this slightly more rarefied atmosphere. Nice ball downfield by the goalkeeper to Palavecino with the layoff to Marquez. There's Marquez again. Palavecino towards Fernandez at the near post. Another header on target. Another one that's too close to Lloris. It's Martinez trying to escape down the right-hand side. Has support as well. Still going Martinez, and that's absolutely fizzed out of play. And Montano. More perilous now for LAFC. Not really afford to allow Cruz Azul to score another. Then things become slightly more worrying. Switch out to the left-hand side. Here is Segura. Now Boanga. Tries to get to the byline. Campos holds him up. Made off to Delgado. Now down the left-hand side goes Delgado to the byline. Looks for the cutback. Son was lurking on the edge of the box. It's prodded away. Piovi. Throw in for LAFC, the halfway point of the Cruz Azul half. Segura looking for Boanga. There's Piovi. To that right-hand side. Palavecino. Inside to Fernandez. Rodriguez. Rotondi. Looked like a foul on Palencia. He made the most of the contact. He's on a yellow, Rotondi. Martinez a little bit too much on the pass towards Boanga. Have a little look at Rotondi. He just tried to get out of the way of Palencia. Did end up having a handful of Palencia's shirt as he went down. It might have just been a little trailing leg as well that caught Palencia in the face, I think, but I can understand why the referee has let him get away with that one this time. Campos. There's Son. Nicely done. Can't get it past Lira. So it goes backwards to Tafari. Now Porteous down the outside. And now a chance for Valencia to stretch his legs low, skipped up off the turf and hit the arm of Piovi. And the LAFC players all appealing in unison for a handball. You can see why he's not given that, the referee, as Choinier gets it forward. Martinez from a long way out, left-footed strike over the crossbar. Let's see if VAR gets involved in this one. First handball was first penalty, I should say, was soft. This one would be even softer if it was given. And 4 or 5 LAFC players screaming for it, though. It's into the box, and this time it's away by Tafari. Son wants to throw. Referee gives it the other way. Into Lira. A lot of the ball. Cruz Azul. Showing under 70% possession at this juncture. It's Palavecino. Campos. Palavecino again. On the right hand side, crosses against Boanga, and it's out of play for a Cruz Azul throw-in. Low ball. Fernandez was stretching. The LAFC defence just went to sleep for a moment. Heading off in the other way. Tillman, Martinez, back to Tillman. Now Segura, we can't control it. It's out of play for another Azul throw-in. It was so close. It's Palavecino, who's proving to be a real handful for the LAFC defence. Gavi Fernandez not too far away from getting his second. Dita. There's Lira. Rotondi. Towards the 6-yard line where Porteous will flick it away. Now Martinez. It's now the right-hand side with Campos. Breaks down on the edge of the Los Angeles penalty area. Chaumier, as he so often is, in the way. Often finds himself in the right place. Going for Los Angeles on the left-hand side. Segura will take the throw-in. That's a foul. Delgado hurt himself in the process. Club America taking on Nashville. After this game finishes, and LA Galaxy and Toluca, the first leg of that finished 4-2 to Toluca in the home leg. They're back in Los Angeles later on in 24 hours. We'll find out who the winner of this game will face in the semi-finals. Montaño standing over the free kick on the far side. Half an hour gone. Swung in. It's away by Tillman. Back in there by Rotondi. Porteous wins the header. Piovi got it back into the mix, and that's a hopeful ball lofted in there by Palavecino. Sails out of play for a goal kick. The race is going to go long again from the set piece. It's too high for Son. From Marquez and Dita. Campos on the right hand side. Dita, far corner of his own penalty area. Now Piovi. Walk it forward up towards the halfway line. There's Rotondi to his left, but we'll just switch it out to the right hand side. Trying to link up with Palavecino was Marquez. Delgado finds David Martinez. Son loses it near the centre circle. All the way through. Maybe a chance. Keeper came out. Well, Lloris is down. It was Montano who tried to just lift it over the goalkeeper. A lovely through ball fed through to him. The attempted finish was just wide of the mark there. He's left full on Hugo Lloris in the process as well as Montano. Will be a goal kick. Cruz Azul want something a little bit more. They felt that the ball was still active when Hugo Lloris closed him down. I think he was just trying to draw the contact there, Montano. In the process, there is an argument to be had that he stamped on Hugo Lloris. I say an argument because this referee seems to have an eye for everything. The World Cup winner is back on his feet, Hugo Lloris. Lifted the trophy in Russia. They're able to continue for the moment. Substitute goalkeepers for LAFC tonight, Cabral Carter and Thomas Hazel. So a product of Vancouver Whitecaps, signed as a free agent for LAFC back in 2024. You should expect Hugo Lloris with his glittering career and role as captain. So he's him as the undisputed #1. Cabral Carter has only played one game for LAFC at senior level. He's played most of his football for LAFC 2 as the reserve side is known. David Martinez is going to get on the end of this ball in the corner of the penalty area. Martinez to Son with his back to goal. POV racing out. And Boanga. And throw in for LA, taken by Segura. The way back to Hugo Lloris. Chonier. Tillman. Evades the challenge of Rotondi. Has support on the outside. Palencia looking to slip it into Son, who made a run towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's Piovi who gets it clear. Just look for a driven ball towards the corner of the box, Palencia. Safari gets it back. Lloris again with the long ball forward. Again, it just travels a bit too far for Tillman. Skips over the touchline, throwing immediately taken by Rotondi. It's Piovi. Lira, Mexican international, just on the edge of the centre circle, and over the captain's armband on for Cruz Azul this evening. To his left to Piovi. Back to Lira. Nardita. Campos down the outside. Segura across to meet him. As the assistance of Boanga as well. Nardita again. Campos. Marquez. Into Palavecino, bit of space, pushed away by Lloris, another good save. Too much space for Palavecino. Oh, another cross, and that one is narrowly wide. This time from Carlos Rodriguez, and it was Montano in there. with the header. Palavecino came closest though. Strong save at his near post by Hugo Lloris. And this is the challenge we said that LAFC have in front of them. Cruz Azul pumped up. All action, all energy already. In a sense maybe in the LAFC squad, whether not sure whether to stick or twist or try to add to the aggregate scoreline. Lloris flicks up off the head of Rotondi. Throw in for LAFC. Martinez will take. Chaunier. Sharp footwork in the centre circle. Porteous. Tafari. Segura. His son. Boanga. Dispossessed. Piovi. To Fernandez. Forced backwards by Chaunier. Overhit ball forward was from Lira. All the way through to Hugo Lloris. Launched long by Lloris. Campos. Dita to Piovi. Rotondi for a moment had some space down this left hand side. He was closed down by David Martinez, forced the mistake, and Valencia just ran into Rotondi. Give LAFC the foul and the free kick inside their own half of the pitch. He's just going to come across and check on Sergi Valencia. Porteous tries to launch the free kick diagonally out to that far side for Boanga. Too much on the pass. We've seen a few of those overhit. As the Hawkers wander around the perimeter of the pitch, distributing, selling refreshments, popcorn, drinks. And that's going to be a yellow card for Segura. Eighth person booked in his first half. So Marquez on the end of a quote-unquote rough challenge, according to the referee's assessment. Piovi. Segura had to adjust. Boanga will get there before Campos. Dita. Marquez. And off to Dita. In the centre circle is Piovi. Rotondi. Back to Piovi, left hand side. Martinez bearing down on him. Dita. Marquez trying to get forward. Organised at the moment, LAFC on the edge of their own penalty area. Dita. Shuffled round the corner by Fernandez, and they almost picked their way through the edge of that LAFC box. Boanga couldn't squeeze past Lira. He's looking for Son. Palavecino. Campos thought about the cross. Into Rodriguez. Campos stepping off the touchline. Piovi. thought about a shot, instead finds Montano. He will ripple the side netting, but by way of a deflection off of Palencia. Corner kick for Cruz Azul. Which will be taken by Montano. Would be almost the perfect time to score for Cruz Azul just before half-time. Floated towards the edge of the box, aimed at Dita. Campos went scampering after it on that far side to try and keep it in play. It'll be Segura to take the throw-in. Loop down the touchline. Underneath it, Dita takes it down with his chest. Up round the corner by Lira. There's Porteous. Got his header wrong, it went straight up in the air. He'll have to recover, and did well, Ryan Porteous. Here's Rotondi. Inside to Lira. Most of the game's been played inside the LAFC half of the pitch. Dita. Campos. He's trying to shift it inside. Hernandez over the top. Palavecino wins another corner. Taken very quickly. Rotondi from range. That one is always sailing over Hugo Lloris's crossbar. Into the final minute of the 45. Hugo Lloris standing over a goal kick. Free kick for Cruz Azul in midfield. Well, there has been a unsavoury, shall we say, chant for Hugo Lloris every time he takes one of those set pieces. Language which is not very much appreciated by the officials, and we have heard that if it continues they will be inclined to stop the game. For the time being they move into 5 minutes of added time. Rodriguez trying to pick his way through, chipped into the box. Tafari gets it clear. David Martinez dispossessed by the retreating Fernandez. That's a foul by David Martinez. Apologies, a lack of translation. The shot that's been aimed at Hugo Lloris is actually a slightly different word to what I appreciated it to be. It has been identified by FIFA as a homophobic slur, so if it is repeated anymore, they are within their rights of stopping this game. A bit temporarily if it is to happen. Palavecino on the left-hand side. Piovi. On the left-hand side, Palavecino again. Sweeps past David Martinez, tries his luck himself. It's against Delgado. The corner kick for Cruz Azul. He's starting to look worried. Rotondi with the outswinger. Under clear by Chonier. Stooping was Tafari. Piovi with the effort from range, and that one outside of play towards the far side. It's Piovi again. Working outside the centre circle for the time being. Pallavicino back to Piovi. Inside left channel, back wide again for Pallavicino. Past Martinez. This is the outside of his right boot to squeeze it into the 6-yard box where it's cleared by Porteous. Piovi. Pallavicino. Rotondi tried to return it to Rodriguez, who's in an offside position anyway, but it's going to be a goal kick. Bounce off Heung-min Son. Let's see here. The chant continues, and Hugo Lloris. Water for Ducks back at the moment, but I'm sure there will be a warning from the stadium announcer if it does continue. Here's Rotondi. Piovi. Rodriguez. Into the box. Montano. It's launched away by Chonier. Mia. Marquez. Defended again by Tillman. Piovi dispossessed by Martinez, but he tugged him on the way to doing so. Venezuelan penalised. Lira. Pallavicino. A chance. Campos! That's touched over the crossbar by Hugo Lloris. It was a brilliant strike from Campos, but a save that matched it. Fantastic goalkeeping, rolling back the years. Corner kick to finish off the half. Pallavicino in, and that's a foul. And half-time as well. An eventful first half, 8 yellow cards shown. Hugo Lloris has pulled off a string of saves to make sure that the cushion is still 2 goals. A controversial penalty is what's given Cruz Azul a route into this game. On the balance of play, you can see why they're pumped up and believe they can overturn this 3-goal deficit. Cagey at times from Los Angeles, expansive at times from Cruz Azul. Plenty to play for in the second half. Join us in 15 minutes' time. At half-time, it is Cruz Azul 1, LAFC 0. we're back at the start of this second half in Puebla. Cruz Azul knew they would have a tough night on their hands to progress to the semi-finals of the CONCACAF Champions Cup. And they made a half-decent start of it. A somewhat controversial penalty granted after a physical challenge from Sergi Palencia. Javi Fernandez made no mistake from the resulting penalty. It's given Cruz Azul the lead on the night, even if they still trailed by 2 goals on aggregate. It's been a game marked by yellow cards. The referee has been the most central figure of the game thus far. In terms of momentum, it's pretty much in one-way traffic. LAFC yet to really create any big chances. There's been some fantastic goalkeeping from Hugo Lloris, and another opportunity early on for Rodriguez, who can't quite get his header on target, and LAFC will smuggle it clear. It's all well and good to decide that you're going to come and try and set up shop against a motivated Cruz Azul side looking for their first win in 7 games. To go and do it is very different, and in fact rely on their world-class goalkeeper LA to prevent Cruz Azul from reducing the deficit even further. But now might be a chance to get further forward with Chonier. Just took a little bit too long to try and find Son Heung-min. No changes at the break as far as we can tell. Announced at half-time. Maybe a chance to open the door by Marquez. A diving header clearance from Porteous. Palavecino back to Marquez again, and now Porteous will turn it behind for a corner. LAFC with the same 11 that started the game. Lloris in goal. The back four of Segura, Tafari, Porteous and Palencia. Delgado and Chonier holding in midfield. Buanga, Tillman and Martinez behind Heung-min Son. That's in by Palavecino and claimed by Hugo Lloris. A little shove on Ryan Porteous, spotted by the referee. Will give Los Angeles the free kick inside their own penalty area for Cruz Azul. It's Kevin Mir in goal. The back three of Dita, the captain Lira and Piovi. Campos and Rotondi, the 2 wing backs. Palavecino and Marquez just inside them. Montaño and Rodriguez offering support to Javi Fernandez. Rotondi wins the header. There's Chonier, led off by David Martinez. Space for Eddie Segura to get forward from left back. There's the support of Buanga alongside him. Buanga backwards. Here's Tafari. Delgado lets it run through to Buanga again. A little step over on the left-hand side. He's trying to create himself some space. Place that against Rodriguez. LAFC throwing. The substitutes going through their paces. Down on the touchline below us. Here's Martinez. He's in his locker to create something very special, as he showed in the home leg. 2 goals of the highest order to add to Heung-min Son's tap-in to give LAFC in this position they find themselves in this evening. In the rarefied atmosphere of the 7,000 feet above sea level Puebla. Here is Son to Buanga, left corner penalty area, stepping inside onto his right, trying to fashion a shooting opportunity. And he ran into Campos. And for a moment looked like he'd been caught before realising the referee wasn't going to give him the free kick. Springs back to his feet, heads off to the back post as Buanga prepares to take this corner kick. So you get to see a real clear-cut chance for LAFC. Change here though, with Buanga standing over the corner. Boanga, right-footed ball into the edge of the 6-yard box. Away by Fernando. Chaunier from 25 yards away. Son trying to hold up Campos. Chaunier with Montano on the far side. Piovi, a long ball downfield, and that will skip off the turf and into the arms of Hugo Lloris. Bolted overarm down the left-hand side for Boanga. So that's Chaunier. That's a foul on Charles Rodriguez. He's on a yellow card. One of 4 out there in Cruz Azul blue. Palavecino, Rotondi, Rodriguez, as we just mentioned, and Javi Fernandez. There's 3 LAFC players with the yellow card tonight: Porteous, Segura and Boanga. The bookings have become less frequent than they were in the opening 20 minutes or so. Here's Boanga, tries to go down the outside of Campos. No appeals for a penalty from Boanga, no foul either. Lira was asking for a card on Boanga, but I think he just lost his footing more than anything. That's particularly sporting from the Cruz Azul captain. Palavecino. Rodriguez. Segura. Puts that out on the left-hand side. And it's untidy, the challenge on Delgado. And Marquez. And Nicolas Larcamon was also shown a yellow card in the first half. The Cruz Azul manager. Luis with the long ball to the right hand side. It's aimed towards David Martinez. Piovi is going to take the throw in on that left hand side. It's a bit of movement to aim for. Looping ball down the left. Down by Fernandez. And Marquez. Here's Campos on the near side. The back heel from Fernandez, looking to feed Marquez. Juggling on the edge of the box goes Palavecino, Rotondi. Chaunier flung himself at it. Rodriguez. Montano held in at bay by Sergi Palencia. And that's a throw-in for LAFC. It's Palencia who conceded the penalty in the first half. The referee was asked to have a look at himself by the video assistant referee. He decided to stick with his on-field decision. Again by Rodriguez, now Lira. Rodriguez. Piovi. Fernandez. Laid off. This is good work. Rotondi's ball just overhit. Much to his frustration. They wanted a corner kick. It's a throw-in. Segura. It's away from Delgado there. On the right-hand side is Palavecino. Segura sliding in. It's a handball. And there's a yellow card for the Cruz Azul coach. Eddie Segura slid in. His right arm was down as he went sliding in to get in the way of the cross. It's a harsh one. half the Cruz Azul team asking for a booking for him. It's not nice to see. Montano on the delivery. Happy with how close to the ball David Martinez is now, Montano. And the delivery in the end is, well, deeply disappointing from a Cruz Azul perspective. High and swings straight out of play. It's not the dark side of football tonight. The ugly elements, Cruz Azul have been particularly poor with it. Well, the referee is going to stop the game. 10 minutes into the second half. Now there's been discriminatory language used. Every single time Hugo Lloris clears the ball downfield, there's a term which FIFA has already highlighted, especially in the build-up to the World Cup, that they will not tolerate throughout the tournament, and they won't tolerate tonight either. So the referee stopping the game, as the latest goal kick was accompanied by what the governing body has identified as a homophobic slur. There is a message being displayed on the big screens around this stadium, and the official stepping in here to allow the stadium announcer to ask the crowd to stop using the phrase, the terms. It's the first step of the protocol of anti-discrimination. A few of the players aren't entirely sure about what's going on here, the referee having to explain to a few of them. And by our understanding, the game will be paused for at least 5 minutes. So for the time being, we're going to see how this develops. I'll come back to you very shortly. Don't go anywhere. At the moment, it's Cruz Azul 1, LAFC 0. LAFC leading by 3-1 on aggregate as we approach the hour mark in Puebla. The drop ball at the feet of Hugo Lloris. Now we've had the first step. The CONCACAF 3-step protocol indicates that the first step is for the referee to pause the game temporarily. Second step is the suspension of the game, and the players will be taken off the pitch and into the dressing rooms if the discriminatory language continues. And if they cannot stop the discriminatory chanting, singing, well, the game will be called off. The Cruz Azul captain Eric League-Cruz has been appealing to the crowd for calm. I do feel for the referee here, who's had to initiate that first step of the protocol. We did see a message on the big screens around this quite wonderful arena, and an announcement from the public address system. As they are moving again. It's a decent ball into the penalty area, and that's into the side netting. And a goal kick for Hugo Lloris. A chance for us to figure out if the message has landed for those who insist on continuing to shout what CONCACAF and FIFA have deemed homophobic abuse. Keep an eye on this. It's an issue that could become quite a big one for Cruz Azul, especially. Boanga. Cruz Azul half down the left-hand side. Kicked over the top. Son will take it down in the penalty area. The touch just got away from him as it's taken away by Dita. Mia. Dita on the corner of the penalty area. To turn away from the attentions of Chonier. Segura with the foul. They want a second yellow here, Cruz Azul. Just a foul, says the referee, nothing more. And he's been surrounded by Cruz Azul players here. The referee. He led with the arm, Segura. I'm not sure there's anything wrong with that challenge in the first place, let alone a second yellow. And we've seen that far too often from the Cruz Azul players tonight. Here's Campos on the right-hand side. And Palavecino. What's that against Chonier? Corner kick on the right-hand side. Palavecino towards the back post. And it's into the side netting. And Piovi, who tried a thumping effort as it skipped up off the turf towards him on the half volley. Well, Lira again, as Hugo Lloris spots this up, appealing to the crowd to make sure that they don't continue using the language they have. For the moment, we are out of the woods. Here's Marquez. Campos. Right-hand side of the box at the moment, played backwards. Marquez. Palavecino. Lira. Out for a moment. Rodriguez just outside the penalty area, well placed. They couldn't make the most of it, Cruz Azul. LAFC can't keep the ball. Here's Fernandez again, left of centre. Rotondi driving down the left-hand side beyond Tillman. It's Palavecino low across the 6-yard box, and this time Fernandez didn't gamble. Pops out the other side for Campos to the edge of the box. Rodriguez. As it goes into Fari to get it away. Campos again. Recycles it. Dieter into the box. Too high. And they bounce all the way out of play. Past Palencia for a throw on the far side to LAFC. Palencia to take the throw in. On the touchline. Flicks off the back of the head of Piovi. Dieter. Lira. Back to Piovi. Retreating a little here, Cruz Azul. Mia. Dieter. Lira. Goalkeeper finds POV. He can range forward towards the edge of the box. Marquez. Campos on the overlap. Enters away off Chaunier. The referee's going to step in and have a word here with I think Lira, Cruz Azul, actually, it's going to be a change here. Marta Santos is going to withdraw. Dani Martinez hasn't been anywhere near as effective as he was in the home leg, the young Venezuelan. The replacement will be Jacob Schaffelberg, the 26-year-old Canadian international. Cruz Azul make a change of their own at the same time. I'll sort that out shortly, but first they've got the ball back into play. It's now to this right-hand side for Marquez. Chipped in there by Lira. That bounces out of play. It will be a goal kick. Jose Paradella is the man who's come on. He's replaced Andres Montaño, who's not seen much of the ball in this second half. Away by Lariche from the goal kick. Safari back to the Frenchman. What a touch by Boanga, taken away from him by Rotondi. Chaunier. Tillman linking up. And Chaunier. Here's Palencia. He's won it back in a decent position. Tillman to the byline. Deflection. And Piovi just stooped in front of Schaffelberg to lift it over his own crossbar for a corner kick to LAFC. And for all their attacking momentum, Cruz Azul still haven't chipped away any more of that deficit. And only one goal from LAFC would probably win it here. Send them through to the semi-finals at the Mexican side's expense. Boanga on set-piece duties. That one's low and back to Chaunier. Now we'll lift it towards the back post. Tafari that one at the back post. Marquez has been pulled up for a foul. That could have easily been a yellow card as he just shoved his man over the touchline. By Segura. Schaffelberg. Rough treatment by Campos. It's clever by Jacob Schaffelberg to win that. It's a free kick in a dangerous position for LAFC. Used his body really well. Campos was grappling and shoving the entire time. Mia trying to organise his wall. Here's Heung-min Son standing over the set piece. Gets advice and instruction maybe from Ryan Porteous, who's going to join the options in the penalty area. Heung-min Son, 12 yards from the byline, trying to whip it in. It's off the wall, driven back in there. Shonier takes a big old ricochet off a Cruz Azul body for a LAFC throwing on that far side. Palencia to Boanga. That's a handball. Denny Boanga. Rodriguez. Here comes Dita. Inside right channel. Into Rotondi. Tries to help it forward to Palavecino. That's away by Tafari again. Here's Dita. Campos. Charlie Rodriguez. Lira keeps the ball moving. Slip through. Decent opportunity. Great save again by Hugo Lloris. It was Rotondi who found himself in acres of space in the LAFC box. Well, as he's done so many times tonight, Hugo Lloris, he's pulled off the save when it matters the most. And the former Tottenham goalkeeper makes sure that LAFC still have that cushion. There's a few times tonight, well, that could have evaporated. Schaffelberg with the challenge near halfway to concede the free kick. Piovi. Paladella. Rodriguez. Paradella. Lira. Rodriguez. Marquez. Poked away by Tillman. Here's Segura. Schaffelberg. Chouanier. Son's been tugged back. That's Dita. And surely a yellow card. Dangerous looking move from LAFC. Right under the nose of the official. Looks like he's going to escape unpunished. Miladita, the Colombian. Nice from Schaffelberg to let it run. Here's Delgado. Chonier. Delgado. Rodriguez. A toe to the ball. That goes against LAFC. Throwing. There's Cruz Azul's way. Lira. Here comes the goal scorer, Fernandez. Paladella. Just wanted a little bit too long on it. It's chipped away down the left-hand side by Lloris. Is that kept in play by Schaffelberg? No, it's not. Cruz Azul going to get another attacker on here as off goes Angel Marquez. Along comes Christian Ebere, the Nigerian, to add to the numbers getting forward. The former Nigeria under-17 international. Just the one goal for Cruz Azul, joined the club in February. Rotondi with the corner from the left-hand side, low towards the near post, Son away. A volley from the edge of the box came in from Charlie Rodriguez. Some half-hearted appeals for a handball. Corner kick's been taken quickly by Rotondi. Edge of the penalty area. Paradela. That's over the crossbar. And another goal kick for LAFC. Let's just have a look. It's caught really nicely by Charlie Rodriguez. It's off the chest of Tafari. Luis spotting it up. On the right hand side looking for Bawanga. There's Dita with the clearing header. Flipped on by Fernandez. Ebele underneath it. Tafari across. Throw in. Quickly in by Ebere. That's a foul on Chouanier. A shot by Rotondi. Unnecessary one. They're appealing for a handball on Chouanier there. Maurice. Searching for Schaffelberg. It's over his head. Yeah, only had it temporarily before rolling it out to Dita. Now with Lira. To Charlie Rodriguez. Right hand side now is Aradella. Campos. Rodriguez. Trying to pivot away from Chouanier. Bawanga. Still going, Bawanga. And, well, that's rough from Rotondi, who just body checked him, stepped across his path with his arms outstretched. Referee has a decision to make here. He's already on a yellow card. He's reaching into his pocket. He's going to show the yellow to Paradela. Might well be a distraction technique from the substitute, because it was, I mean, no attempt to play the ball there, Rotondi. Shoulder to shoulder, in fact. The balance of play, by the letter of the law, you can understand maybe why he's got away with that one. And he gets another yellow for a Cruz Azul player, this time Jose Paladella. It was a risky move from Rotondi. Already on a booking tonight. Ebere wins the throw-in. Lira will take it. Piovi. Paradella. Campos. Messino towards the edge of the box. Ebere was waiting. Chouanier gets it away. Piovi. Rotondi in there, and that's another good save. It was Fernandez with the header, and Hugo Lloris holds on to it. But if they make it through tonight, LAFC, and it's looking increasingly likely, Hugo Lloris's 5 saves will be key to that. Schaffelberg in a tangle on the edge of the penalty area. Some angry words as well with the defender Campos. There was no appeals from Jacob Schaffelberg. But he's not been impressed with Omar Campos, his histrionic since coming on. Well, another attacking change for Cruz Azul. The captain goes off, Eric Lira. And they're going to bring on another striker. And it's the 19-year-old Matteo Levi, looking for his first Cruz Azul goal. Swung in there, away by Tafari. Alavecino, wide to Campos. Onto his left, all the way through towards the back post. Rotondi tried to slide in there to try and keep the ball alive, but it's out of play for a goal kick, which is taken swiftly by Hugo Lloris. Palencia checks his run. That's straight up in the air by Porteous and out of play for a throw-in. Levy. Tillman. Boanga. That's the throw-in. Won't get it. It's Charlie Rodriguez. Rodela. Campos. Schaffelberg staying with him. Campos to the byline. Schaffelberg in the way of the cutback. Good work defensively from the Canadian. Paladela's going to take the corner. Left-footed, swung in. Kick towards the back post. Nodded away from the far post by Tillman. Hooked out of play. Quickly back in by Piovi. Left-footed ball, a poor one. Chonier gets it clear, and here is Son Heung-min. He couldn't get anything moving there, Son Heung-min. Now Paradella on this right-hand side for Cruz Azul, opens up. And made a real meal of that shot from a long, long way out. It's a goal kick. There are 2 balls on the pitch for a moment. That suited Hugo Lloris. Things are being thrown in his direction, mostly footballs it seems at the moment. It's away by Lloris. Tafari. That's a head injury. Clash of heads. And he's back up on his feet. There'll be a drop ball to restart us on the edge of the centre circle. Alavecino. That's wasteful. Possession handed straight back to LAFC by way of a throw-in. Segura. Shocking to this near side to take it. Delgado. Tillman. Chonier. Here's Boanga on the right hand side. Lovely footwork, but quite good enough. Ran into Piovi. Here's Levy down the other end. Tronier trying to shackle him. Palavecino, Abere on the right-hand side. Tries to go past Segura, flashes it across the goal mouth. And it's another throw-in for LAFC. Sergi Palencia, I think he's going to be coming off shortly. It's actually Timothy Tillman who's taking leave by wandering off that far side. And it's Ryan Hollingshead, an experienced old head, the former FC Dallas man, a 34-year-old who can play pretty much anywhere down that left-hand side and at right back. Coming to just shore them up a little bit. Tafari away, Abere won't quite settle for him. Schaffelberg with a toe to it. Abere went down, quickly waved back to his feet by the referee. Here's Fernandez. Rotondi clattered against Porteous. Fernandez, edge of the box, and it was Palavecino who drags his shot wide from the edge of the penalty area. Hugo Lloris with another goal kick to take. One that'll disappear as far away from his goal as he can get it. Hung out towards Buanga on the far side. That's a poor touch though. And Rotondi will drive it clear. It's against Valencia. Throw-in taken by Rotondi. Swung back in there. There were two in there. Levy and Fernandez. Last touch though came off Tafari. Another corner kick for Cruz Azul. LAFC trying to get themselves organised. Rotondi's delivery towards the near post. Son will take it down and eventually volley it away. Schaffelberg sprinting after it. He might get there, you know. He can't quite get to the ball ahead of Palavecino. There's no foul either. So the ball will come back at LA. Paradella, Palavecino, Abere on the right-hand side. Towards the edge of the box, little back heel. Palavecino! Another one held onto by Hugo Lloris. Surely that was the chance to set up a grandstand finish. Piovi took it down inside his own half, found Dita. They've had their chances, Cruz Azul. Here's Charlie Rodriguez. Still going. Edge of the box. Paradella chipped into the 6-yard box, and Hugo Lloris take a touch inside his own 6-yard area before eventually scooping up. We've reached the 90th minute mark. It's been Hugo Lloris's game. 7 minutes added on at the end of this. Now, I've got to say, I think that's slightly controversial, considering the game was paused for 4 or 5 minutes due to the discriminatory language used by the Cruz Azul fans. That's now been added on at the end of the match, which feels like it's no punishment to the home supporters or their team at all. Nonetheless, we'll have 7 minutes added on. Boanga tries to get away. Just lost his steam there. Palavecino. Campos. Back in there. Porteous clears. And now Boanga. Can he find Heung-min Son? No, he can't. A poor pass. Charlie Rodriguez. Rodriguez. Rotondi. Porteous in the way. Boanga goes to ground. That's a red card. Instant red card. Shown to Gonzalo Piovi. Went lunging in there on Denny Boanga. He can have no complaints, Piovi. And you felt that was coming from the word go tonight. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's absolutely right. He'll plead his case, POV, but will fall on deaf ears. It seems to be a straight red as well for Gonzalo Piovi. And Makina is breaking down. Boanga back on his feet, which is good to see because there was concern about his welfare for a moment. Yeah, it was a poor challenge. And a straight red confirmed. It doesn't go to the yellow card. Piovi wasn't in the book. Three minutes of added time gone. It looks like Cruz Azul's hopes of reaching the semi-finals have gone to. A few have decided to head for the exits. Lloris. Valencia. Off by Chonier. Porteous. Back to Lloris. Segura. Hollingshead. And that's almost a rugby challenge. Leave it. Free kick from the near touchline, and Lloris is going to jog across to take it. They've got some changes of their own being readied at LAFC. Rotondi. Palavecino. Rotondi on the left-hand side. Rotondi with a chance to cross into the 6-yard box, and again Lloris will sprawl on it. It was close to Cruz Azul shirts, and here they go. LAFC. Son through the middle for Schaffelberg with the chance, and that's a penalty. It's Dieter who used his arm to get in the way, and the wheels have come off for Cruz Azul. You have to feel for Dieter. I'm not sure where else his arm is supposed to go. He's tried to get his body in the way. His arm is trailing along the ground to keep him balanced, really, more than anything. it's a decision that's just going to rub salt into the wounds. Now, it does mean something a bit more if they do score here. It means this game ends as a draw and then a point in terms of the overall standing. It's an interesting quirk of the tournament, which is the team that finishes with the most points in that overall rankings will eventually host the final if they go on to reach it. It'll be Denny Bouanga to draw them level on the night and seal progress through to the semi-finals. Bouanga versus Mia, and Bouanga slots it past the goalkeeper. It's done and dusted now. LAFC are heading for the semi-finals. It was always likely coming into tonight, based on that first leg performance. It's been a tough evening for them. They've been second best for the majority of the game. But Denny Bouanga's penalty really makes sure of it now. Sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. They'll kick off again. But they're all going through the motions now, and the smattering of travelling LAFC supporters will party along into the night this evening. And the referee blows the whistle for full time. Boos ring out around the stadium. LAFC had to do it the hard way. Cruz Azul with plenty of chances, but every single time they came up against a goalkeeper in inspired form. Hugo Lloris with save after save after save to keep them at bay. It was a game settled by two penalties. The first, controversial, handed to Fernandez. The second as well, late on, controversy in that, but at that point the game was dead and buried. Cruz Azul went down to 10 men in a match that was played with high tempers and cards scattered around like confetti at times. We had delays due to discriminatory language, a little bit of everything, and sadly I have to tell you that that discriminatory language resurfaced with the last kick of the game. It's a note that we made in the CONCACAF notebook, but another famous night in the history of LAFC. They're through to the semi-finals. The only question remains is who will they play, Toluca or their cross-city rivals Galaxy? We'll find out tomorrow night. But this evening belongs to LAFC. Full time in Puebla, and it's finished. Cruz Azul 1, LAFC 1.